Instructions and teaching are easy to follow, and you find them difficult to grasp and apply. When is it difficult to follow?
You ask some white questions. Or we won't do that bad.
Okay, when you get into the reasoning thing,
We need to understand.
when you get into reasoning, trying to reason out God, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on.
Your own understanding.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
And don't lean right here. When we get into our head and try to think God through, God don't make sense, man. We're going to get weird. When we're full of faith, it's easy to follow God.
Yes.
When you're full of yourself and your own thinking, there's no way.
That's right.
There's no way. Here I am. I was on the road for 5 full years, 6 years, playing trumpet. That's what I did. Benita and I, we got married. I was at peace about it. When we got engaged, we were both had jobs. When we got married, we were jobless. Doesn't sound like a great financial plan. But, I was totally at peace with it because I knew this was God. She found a teaching position in Milan, Ohio. It's just a little north of Norwalk. You think, I can play trumpet. What can you do in Milan, Ohio with a trumpet? Use it as put flowers in it, turn it upside down. I mean, what are you going to do there, huh? What are you going to do? But, we prayed about it. We sensed God. We moved into Norwalk, got an apartment. I was looking around, trying to find. I said, the only music person we know is this guy, Ron Corper. Knocked on his place, wasn't home. We were getting out of there, and this car backed up and says, I noticed that you went to my place over there. I said, oh, you're Ron Corber? He says, yeah. He says, the employment office said you're the only person in music around here. And he says, I said, I don't know. I don't know if you can use me or not, or what the deal is. I play trumpet. And he says, this morning in the shower, he's saying, God, when are you going to send the trumpet players? Tears were coming down Benita's eyes on the sidewalk. I mean, it was where God wanted me. It wasn't necessarily where I wanted to be. That's for sure. But God used that. It was formative. It's where God wanted me. But to trust Him when you don't understand. That's the big deal. When you're full of faith, when you're full of yourself, we're going to go our way. And we're going to produce our stuff. When we turn our faith to Jesus, and trust Him, and not our heads, and not our ways, His teachings, His heart, something new happens. Well, here's... From that time on, Jesus began to say, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to suffer many things. By the chief priests and teachers of the law, the leaders. I'm not going to be accepted. I'm going to be killed. How do you like this? I must be killed. Wasn't like some mistake thing. And by the way, on the third day, I'll be raised to life. How did Peter respond? Peter took Jesus aside. I'm not going to talk to him in front of the other disciples. I'm going to take Jesus aside. We need to have our own little conference. Sometimes it's the meeting before the meeting that makes the meeting. And he began to rebuke Jesus. Now is Peter living out of the pebble or out of the rock right now? He began to rebuke Jesus. Never, Lord, this shall never happen to you. Get with the program, Jesus. You know what the program is? Jesus turned and said to Peter, get behind me, Satan. How many know that's through the closest people that we have in our lives the enemy can work? That's what happens. The enemy can get in through the closest avenue. He knew it wasn't Peter. It was what was working in Peter.
Right.
Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. The word stumbling block is the word scandalon in the Greek. And the word scandalon is the stick that's in a trap that holds the trap up. And what's normally in a trap? There's something there that looks good. In my heart, Peter, there's a part of me that doesn't want to go there. This is going to be a stumbling block to me because if I grab a hold of that bait, the trap's going to come down and God's will is not going to be accomplished on this earth. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. What do we have in our minds? In order for us to be the church, we got to have the mind of Christ. Our minds got to change. Our thinking must change. It's in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. I acted like a child. But when I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. When we become men and women of God, we've got to address the beliefs that we have lived on for years. The God-led church makes a practice of listening to Jesus, thinking like Jesus, and submitting to Jesus. So the question is, in following Jesus, we must change our thinking and opinions about life, about God, about others, about etc. Why is it so hard to change our beliefs? Even though we want to follow Jesus, we want to think like we always thought. Why is this? And why doesn't this work? We bring the world's thinking right into the church and wonder why things don't work right.
That's right.
Well, this is the way we did it at our business. This is the way we did it at this church. What does God want to do here? Okay, let's get in small groups.